live. I do apologize for the lack of a camera, but hopefully this works. It certainly looks good. Saves look good. Here we are right at the end of Blackmail, where we left off. Alright everybody, welcome to another live stream, another installment of Let's Play Thief 2 The Metal Age. Last time when we left off, as you can see, we had just finished the mission Blackmail, which was to confront Sheriff Truart at his own home with the recording we stole from the Mechanist's safety deposit box at the First City Bank and Trust. But when we got to the sheriff's bedroom, he had been murdered. So we found a clue that Lieutenant Mosley had something to do with his murder, and we got out of the mansion all right. And that is where we're picking up. Let's go. He who keeps his work in disorder gives home to chaos. Let him be struck with stone and iron to forge away his flaws. Collected Sermons of Karis.
Things are getting very complicated. Even with Truart dead, my problems are far from over, and whoever hired the sheriff to kill me is still out there. The key ring I found at Truart's house belongs to Lieutenant Mosley of the City Watch, but it turns out she has an alibi for the murder itself. Still, she's probably neck-deep in this whole mess. I don't know what's going on, and I don't like that. So I started following Mosley. I knew sooner or later she'd have to tip her hand and contact her friends, and sure enough, she just left the local watch station well before schedule, carrying a letter. This is my chance. If I can trail her without being spotted, I should be able to find out who's on the other end of this little conspiracy.
Alright, trace the courier. On normal, trace the message to its final destination without being caught by the courier, and somehow find out the contents of that message. On hard, it's hard to imagine why you'd need to kill bystanders on a job like this. Anyway, don't do it. An expert. Out on the street is a poor place to pick up funding for your next escapade, but you ought to at least give it a shot. Perhaps the passers-by will be helpful. Pick at least 6 pockets. It's hard to imagine why you'd need to kill anybody on a job like this. Anyway, don't do it. Hi, dude. No, I haven't checked out any of the games that have been recommended in Discord yet. My schedule, my play schedule is pretty full at the moment with what time I do have, but I do appreciate the recommendation, and more than that, I appreciate your presence in the stream today. Hello, it's good to I can see your chat. I don't have a webcam at my girlfriend's house yet, but it's nice to see you. How have you been? Any exciting weekend plans? Alright, so here's our starting gear. Nothing we haven't seen before. The same is true of our purchasable items. As ever, I want to buy all the water arrows. I want to buy all the moss arrows. With 850 left, I will buy 1 invisibility potion. It's hard to imagine that not being useful. And 250 more. There's not a lot that has much utility, but I suppose I'll buy broadhead arrows. Just chillin'. I like that. I like that. That's good. Let's roll.
Lieutenant Mosley, out for a little stroll. Let's see where you take me.
Strange. I thought there was something there.
I would very much like your healing potion. That's our first pickpocket. If I can manage not to fail the mission, hiding this body, that'd be great. There she goes. Good, good, good. Don't worry, we can more thoroughly explore the other spots in this mission later.
See that?
Damn, damn, damn. Alright, well.
I think next time I better say no to that second mug of coffee.
Hey, you're under arrest, Top!
I'm not doing very well. In my defense, I have a very, very large, inquisitive
Imagining
dog
things now.
What did I see there?
sniffing around as I'm attempting to navigate this.
Okay. Get hold of yourself, officer.
Pair of boots.
Thing there.
Seeing things.
Alright, that one has 2 pickpockets. And of course, I got too excited and cut in front of him. Hi, Sauna, how are you?
Hello?
It's really good to see you.
Visitors, I guess. You.
Alright, alright, alright.
Paperwork. Whatever lay eyes on the paper with a bright air of reports, he's gonna be sorry his mother ever taught him how to read. Better not be the sergeant checking up on me.
Alright, we gotta get after Mosley again. But we did get that purse. And the arrows. That's a total of 3 pickpockets and 100 gold. And we will be able to sweep back through here and re-explore this mission after the, following objectives are handled. So we don't need to stress out too much about them right now. That was our 4th pickpocket. Brought our loot total to 200.
Well, looks like it's peaceful again.
And we can keep following Mosley.
Cause your job.
3 hours left on a night shift, and then you are off work for 6 days. That's exciting. I'm enjoying my new job very much. It's totally flexible hours. It's all based on deliverables. I just do my writing, get my projects finished, and then invoice for them.
Oh, you get no medals for false
Alright.
alarms.
That's our 5th pickpocket. Puts us at 300 loot. And here, apparently... Well, let's get him first, shall we? Wherever he's coming from. Though I have a sense I might be wandering too far away from
Over there.
the good lieutenant.
All right, stop right there.
What?
Over there.
I'll have to be careful.
Letting those stay alert pep talks get the best of me.
Alright. That's 5 pickpockets. 300 gold, 300 loot. And I do really want to get this guy if I can.
Who's there?
I just hate leaving things undone behind me. That's 6 pickpockets. Total loot 350. And being number 6, our pickpocket objective is already completed. Alright, there's Mosley. She didn't get too far away, which is great. There's a drunk guard. Always the best. Anyway, I was talking about my new job, and I got distracted because the game got demanding. Yeah, we have oh, I forgot to check out our simplified objectives. Trace the message to its final destination without being caught by the courier. Somehow find out the contents of that message. Pick 6 pockets. That one's done. Don't kill anybody. We're going to pick several more pockets, naturally. So, you've probably also noticed, if you're at least a little bit observant, that we are on a recycled map. This is the same map that was used in Ambush, which it bothers me. They did that twice in this game. But, you know, I also understand how brutal crunch can be, and
Shift after all.
the very powerful urge to save resources. Oh boy. That may have been a terrible decision. I might just need to leave him be for now. Go for the archer instead. It kind of depends where Mosley's going. Although, I don't want to commit to that just yet, because
What's that?
I can stash him down here. And jump back across to deal with the archer.
Maybe it was right.
Ah, I messed up the jump. I messed up the jump.
Who's that?
3 times. 3 times I messed up the jump. Because this mission introduces an aspect that is definitely, at minimum, uncommon in the Thief games, and that is, it makes you hurry. You're under a time constraint, which you're definitely not used to. So, oh man.
Not again.
Come on. There. Okay, we made it. That's part 1.
What was that?
Now, I should like your arrows. I should like to blackjack you. I should like to stash you in the shadow up here. Dog, I swear to God, if you unplug my screen, or you fuck up the stream in any way, we're gonna have words. Oh, good lord. Alright, so Mosley's stopping here to check things out.
I don't like seeing things I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't either, Lieutenant.
I need a nap. I won't be so spooked then.
And here's an actual shadow.
Seems clear.
Mosley is choosing this moment to turn around. No doubt she realizes I would like to blackjack
Something
that
there?
guard. There's the drunk one.
Never anything.
Lone Wonder, thank you so much for the resub. 39 months. 3 years and 3 months. 13 times 3. If you're into your multiplication tables. I really appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much for the resub. How are you? How have you been?
Something. Well, looks like it's peaceful again.
Alright, there's another pickpocket. It's 450 loot. With that one on board. Can still see Mosley up there. Seems like we're okay. Let's keep after her. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised to wind up with a chance to do this too, so.
Sir, was come out!
Oh boy.
In the name.
I got distracted, checking my map. Serves me right, frankly. There's... Hi, Mosley. Hey, Mr. Guard. You get ragged. Anyway, yes, I was pleasantly surprised to have the... just suddenly have the open window to do a stream tonight. I didn't expect to have this time in advance, which is why yeah, we let her get too far away. I suspected that was the case, but yeah, I'm excited to be here, and I'm glad you all could make it. That's why I don't have all of my equipment. I am operating without a... I have 2 screens, so my gaming situation is just fine. I think this is back near Garrett's old apartment. Yeah, we can't get in there anymore. So we'll check out all the... We'll check out all this map exploration later. I really kind of need to focus on following Mosley. Well, yeah, I'm using the old laptop I had been streaming on. So I've got a good gaming setup. I've got my G5 laptop. I've got my dual screen situation. Have a good keyboard. Have a good mouse. But what I didn't have was streaming paraphernalia. Exactly. So I have the integrated webcam, but to use that, I would have to look away from the big good gaming monitor, which I would rather A, look at the game, and B, not have it seem super weird and have you all staring at the side of my face. So, you know, not that I imagine you would terribly mind a stream full of profile shots, but I don't feel compelled to do that either. What's over here?
Is that you? Hey, I got some
We got guards. One of them's got arrows.
Hello. One move and you're dead. Don't
There must be a way back here. I gotta figure it out. Okay, so if I cut through here, I can get in behind those guys, pickpocket the arrows, which I do want to do, actually. So, let me quick load again.
What's
Oh,
that?
wrong way, wrong way. Let me try cutting back here right quick. Too far away. Alright. We'll have to come back for that one, I suppose. I don't love that, but what can you do?
Come on now. What was that?
Guess I could try this, but I doubt I have time.
This is your last chance. Step out here. I won't hurt you. Nothing
Alright.
there.
Well, I got the pickpocket, which is the important part. I don't need to blackjack the guard.
I like seeing things I don't know.
Okay, we made it to the letter drop point.
Maybe it was rats. Rats.
Somehow.
My co-conspirator, our plan seems to have had no unfortunate consequences. You were concerned that some incriminating evidence was dropped by your assassin at the scene. If so, it was not found. Still, it was foolish to place the key on a keyring with my emblem on it. I am a novice at such conspiracies, I confess, but no one has implicated me in the murder. With both Hagen and Truart out of the picture, you can expect little trouble from the City Watch from now on. However, we both know that there are far more sinister forces at work in the city. On that note, you mentioned once that you had one last place to retreat to where the Mechanists could never find you. If that is true, I urge you to go there now, since in light of recent events, they will waste no time or effort trying to discover your current location. I hope this warning does not reach you too late. Steadfastly yours,
Oh, I doubt she
Lieutenant
dropped her
M.
note by accident. I better see what it says.
Alright. So once Mosley drops the note, I should be able to club her. That'll save me any worry about her potentially finding bodies as she backtracks.
Mud and blast and bother.
What is it?
Invisibility potion and
Boots.
2 flares.
It's gonna take me a week to break in the cursed things. And until then, I'll be walking like someone's grandmom.
Oh,
Those are the two guys we saw earlier.
It's half off.
Those are the two guys we saw earlier. That I stressed so much about pickpocketing. They come out here and have a conversation, apparently. I was gonna say, it really looks like I can make this jump. And sure enough. Well, nice. Very nice. Alright. I think they're alone up here. Now the only one that could even be a problem for me is, the only... no, I'm sorry. He can't be a problem for me. The only one that I have left unhandled at the moment is the drunk guard. Let's check upstairs while we still have time. Oh, nice window vantage. I like it. There's nothing up here, though. Anything else nearby? Nope, we're just waiting. Oh, I think I lost a train of thought earlier. Maybe not. Anyway, I did lose a train of thought, but I've got it back now. So I've got good gaming gear here and set up, but what I don't have is my streaming stuff. So I don't have a webcam, save the integrated one. I don't want you guys just staring at my profile the entire time. That would weird me out, and probably you too. And I want to play the game on the good big monitor, of course, and not have it be weird for me to be looking that direction. So the integrated webcam is out, that's why we don't have a camera. And if the sound quality is lower than normal, which I have little doubt it is, it's because I am using my work headset for audio, which is just a pretty standard issue, you know, conference call style headset. But it's better than nothing, and I would definitely rather stream than not on the occasion that I have the chance to do so. Anyway, hello Alex, it's so good to see you. Or hear from you, rather. Since I can't really see you. Well, I can see your chats. You can't see me, for once. That, I suppose, is the change this go-round. Alright, well, we made it this far. We've done really well, and I forgot to make a real save there at the start. Excuse me. And if my voice sounds a little bit off, it's because I am battling a head cold. I'm at the easier part of it. You know, those first few days when you have one, when it's all up in your sinuses and you just have a terrible headache and
always so much to do.
Everything feels painful and pressurized and terrible. I'm past that phase, and into the throat crud phase, where it just feels like there's a whole bunch of nasty beeswax in the back of my sinuses and throat constantly. I'm coughing it up and trying to get rid of it, and it doesn't go away. But like I said, it feels like the easy stage comparatively. So, oh boy, this guy, this fucking guy, is constantly checking.
No one.
Anyway, what else is news? Alex, since you're my big Dark Souls player, I don't know if you saw the Discord, but took down the Hellkite Wyvern in Dark Souls today. That thing can go fuck itself with the Drake Sword.
Nothing.
But it's done. It's handled. See, here is where I am glad that I dealt with all those Watchmen. Because at least for now, he's tracking back over terrain that Mosley covered. I took down Hovel the Rock on my way through the Undead Burg before fighting the Taurus Demon, too. Because why not? Hovel's Ring is in no way, shape, or form an essential part of my build. I took it down pretty straightforwardly in the end.
Something there?
There is a spot on the bridge where its overhead attack misses you, and it's probably not necessarily a spot the developers intended to have that function. But once you find that, you know, it's not actually too hard to bait him down onto the bridge.
What was that?
And just melee him down. If you get the Drake Sword beforehand, which I did, you have a good high-powered weapon that can take him down in a reasonable-ish time frame. And to be clear, it's not it's not a spot where you can dodge all of his fire attacks. It's a spot where very specifically the overhead one, where he flies up into the air, breathes fire straight down in a big blast radius. There's a spot on the bridge where that misses you. And that was, for me, the key to beating him. I've got to be careful, because we're going to run out of time.
Huh? What's that?
Dog, relax.
No one.
Oh, it killed me.
No one.
It killed me at least 20 times. Maybe more than that. But, so I mean, the YouTube's probably got about a dozen to 15 of those deaths. Gold coins hidden behind these arches. 475 total. Okay. Well, now he's brought us over here. I'd love it if I had time. I doubt I do, but there's a gold goblet for a total of 500 and a copper coin stack for a total of 505 upstairs in these fancy rooms. Let's try and catch up to him. Oh, good, it worked. Oh, he's stopping to check on the bridge. Nice. Well, strong work, Alex. Oh, but whether he stops is apparently random. I love that in these games. Don't you know randomized stuff is always my favorite? My first work week has been great. Thank you for asking. It's everything I could have wanted it to be. You know, my metric is deliverables, not raw hours, and it means I don't have set working hours either. I just need to find time to write and get my projects done, which is great. Of course, it's fully remote. I've had a few team meetings and whatnot. Yeah, well, the Drake Sword is good early game. And look at me talking to you about a game you've actually finished that I haven't.
I saw something.
But the problem with the Drake Sword,
Now.
well, it's twofold. It's very hard to upgrade, and other weapons are not. So it gets outclassed relatively quickly by other weapons that you are able to upgrade. And then the other big thing is that it doesn't scale with any of your stats. So it's a terrific early game weapon, but it gets outclassed pretty quickly.
For always to live again.
So you should, you know, I think before very long, you should be looking to get rid of it. Here we go. Here's where the Mechanists attack the fellow. He flees into the graveyard.
We darest not venture in there. Cemeteries are no place for the living to be treading about at night.
Perhaps we should return home and forge the backbone.
Why enter there? 'Tis the only exit, and thou didst hit him with thy bolts. If he dost not come out, then surely he hath bled unto death.
Very well. Quiet thy fearful heart, and we shall remain here. Someone plays at mischief.
Yeah, and these guys go full aggro. One of my least favorite bugs in the Dark Engine.
Only cowards and the vilest reeds hide.
It's when they set it up so other AIs are hostile to each other. But then when the fracas ends, they always blame you, even though they have neither seen nor heard you. It's dumb and annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, well, we're going to go explore a little bit more. We've got 2 more purses to find back out in the city section, away from here.
Swing, stout cog!
I'm going to try and knock these Mechanists out, and I suppose I can loot the graveyard first. We'll see. Good girl! Alright, the dog finally got her chew toy. Stopped crying at me. One, 2, 3. Alright. Fuck all y'all. Yeah, well, the other thing I would say, Alex, is and this is just from my own thinking, if you want to use literally any magic at all, it makes a lot more sense to do a dex build and a dex scaling weapon than it does a strength one, because as I'm sure you're aware, when you raise your dex a sufficient amount, you are able to speed up the casting animation on your spells. So, if Eastpork was here, he'd be mad at me for knocking strength builds. And to be clear, I'm not knocking strength builds. My point is, if you want to use magic at all, dex build makes a lot more sense. Because you absolutely want the faster casting animation that comes with okay. Well, here we're practically back to where we started. Which is actually a good thing, because now we can kind of systematically explore things. So yeah, this is where we began the mission, in front of this city gate right here. We were following Mosley, and
Hello?
someone is still patrolling.
You can either come out quiet.
There he is. Alright, well. It's nice to know that.
What's there?
And if you are interested in a magic build, unless you're very specifically interested in sorceries or cleric spells, I would do a pyromancy dex build. Just made so much sense to me, because pyromancy doesn't scale with any stats the way the other types of magic do. And you know, I'm always mentally min-maxing, right? So You have a school of magic that does not require you to invest in any separate stats at all. It just scales with the level of your pyromancy flame. That's awesome. Then you can use Dex to beef up the casting speed, which is great. And that's really kind of all you need. And then you're free to spend most of your soul levels on good old vitality and endurance, which is always great to make yourself more robust. Alright, well, neither my lockpicks work, and I can't get in there. I bet if I try hard enough, I can get into this window. Oh, yes. Give me your food! Garrett's got the munchies. Bread, cheese, cucumbers, apples. So that's why I mean, I know that in terms of viewing, you guys aren't even seeing the Dark Souls videos yet, where the video rollout schedule is still on Shadow Tower and Mass Effect, both of which I've actually finished, and I just have the uploads queued up to go out in reasonable episode-sized chunks, 1 per day now. But yeah, the thing I like about pyromancy is you don't have to invest in any other stats. So if you use a dex weapon and pyromancy, then truly the only stat you really need to invest in is dex. And then you're free to use all your other soul levels on vitality and endurance. And you know, and those do have somewhat diminishing returns, and there's still like some low thresholds to get to with other ones. Like, I want 16 attunement so I can get that 3rd spell slot, and I eventually want enough faith to join the Sunlight Warriors just so I can do the Covenant achievements, and you need 15 intelligence to be able to buy sorceries from Big Hat Logan in order to get that achievement. But like, you know, those are low thresholds. I'm talking about real stat investments. And the nice thing about if you use a dex weapon and pair that with pyromancy, you don't really need to invest in anything but dex.
Speak up.
Alright. This is our last
Guess it's a quiet shift after all.
Purse guard.
Better not be the sergeant checking up on me.
I could, and I probably will, once I'm satisfied that there's nobody around who's going to hear it and gank me, Sauna. But I think this key will do the job just as well. Which is what I was looking for. Oh, hey, look, we're back here. Yeah, we really are back at the beginning. Yes, I remember the map now. It's all coming back to me. We'll check out the sewers in a second. I don't believe there is anything down there at this juncture, but we can look. There wasn't anything down here in Ambush, and I don't think there's anything down here in Trace the Courier. This is why it's like blatant map recycling, which is what I really don't like. Like, the only difference is, like, truly the only difference is that you gain access to the graveyard, and they place the AIs and loot a little differently. But there are these whole sections of the map that don't even really have anything in them, that are just there because they were there in Ambush, like the Crippled Burrick here. Strangely empty pub. even though there was not an ambush here tonight. You can get a noisemaker arrow. It's the one little nod that they gave to people who were as thorough as me in their exploration. Well, I'm not that far in yet, Alex. I still just have Fireball. See the moss arrows up here in the same spot. This little garden that doesn't really have any business still existing in the deeply Mechanist city, but there it is. Alright. Now, what else am I still missing? The only thing I'm missing that's not in the graveyard is a single wine bottle, and it might be back at the drunk guard. I think at this point I have found everything else. Yeah, I opened this portcullis. River, there's no one out there. I'm the only one in the house. The dog is convinced that's not true. So I don't want to let her wander around the house when it's empty, because she's still a puppy. And she'll go to the bathroom in a place I don't want her to. But she's just certain there are other people in the house. If she realized there weren't, she'd settle down.
Have all these codes for those.
Here we go.
Really means some guy punching some other.
Aha! Another pickpocket.
Gets your head off. You say to him.
The Uchi is what you get for murdering the undead merchant in the undead burg, right? I left him alive for now. An easily accessible source of wooden arrows is entirely too valuable to me. The dog's name is River. My girlfriend's 4-year-old named her. He's 5 now. He was 4 when he named her. It's one of those. They were driving by a river when my girlfriend asked what the name should be, and he said a word he knew for a thing he was looking at. And that's how the dog got her name. Not that that's a bad thing or anything. I think it's kind of cute, and it actually fits her pretty well. I just want to find a good way to get in behind Benny, because I did confirm just then that the last little bit of non-graveyard loot is tucked in behind him. I think I've knocked out all the other guards. And picked all their pockets. Oh, I did not want to fall. But we can't always get what we want, can we? Let's head up here. River, relax. There's no one else home. She's a Colorado mountain dog. She looks like a little polar bear. She's very big, very fluffy, very white. And if you want to picture it, the Colorado Mountain Dog is, you know, it's a specific recognized breed these days, but it was created by breeding about, the lineage is about 75% Great Pyrenees and about 25% Anatolian Shepherd. So they're very specifically bred to be guard dogs, livestock guardians. So she's very good at her job. She's pretty well able to know if all her people are accounted for, and she gets very stressed out if they're not. That's also true of the other critters. The goats and the ducks and the chicken in the backyard. And so I can't blame her for being agitated. She knows there aren't enough people around, and she knows that she's stuck in this room and doesn't want to be. Ooh, yeah, we should check out Garrett's old building. We can get into it. I wasn't sure we could. We can't actually get into Garrett's old apartment, though, which is kind of silly and dumb. We can get into his building, but his old apartment is off limits. I'm just really quickly sweeping through all the places we can get to. Kind of trying to make sure I haven't missed a guard or a pickpocket. I'm pretty certain I haven't, but always be thorough. Always be thorough. Right. Alright, where the fuck is Benny? He's around here, like, somewhere. Oh, I hear him. There he is. It's like that way you can drop in behind him has gotta be over here. Good night. Take his wine. 730. Okay. We have found everything now except the stuff that is specifically in the graveyard. Let's head that direction. With the mechanists down, everything that's left should be pretty easy. Let's check it out.
A cemetery. That's original.
Right. That one opens. So you can see the blood trail telling us where he ran to. I believe this one actually does animate. As a zombie. Sure does. And I have no fire arrows. I have nothing that can harm a zombie in any way. Isn't that fun? What else we got? So we'll steer clear of him. That's our one secret for the mission. It's this alternate entrance and exit to and from the graveyard. The segment we haven't gotten into yet. I don't think we can make it onto the wall. No. We got to get over this wall right here. I think we can just balance on one of the gravestones. And hop over that way. This one's empty. Well, that's helpful. Now, she also animates, I think, so we have to be careful and quick. Because we got to get both of these gold cups. Well. At least we can console ourselves in the fact that she's got literally no way out of here. Alright, there's one more thing to find.
Where did he go? Guess there must be another way out of here after all.
Oh yeah, I hadn't explored this yet, had I? Uh-huh, there's yet another zombie in here. So with that, 830 loot is the total, as well as 1 secret, and hopefully I have all the pickpockets. We will find out in just a moment. And we haven't even been going an hour. So let me see if I got everything. I got 1 out of 1 secrets, I got 14 out of 14 pickpockets, and I got 830 out of 830 loot. That's what we call perfection. So I did fuck up in terms of keeping a save at the beginning of every mission. So I'm going to hit restart. Buy the same things I bought. Just so I can have that save on board. And anyway, because we've been going less than an hour, the good news, for those who care, is that we can keep going. We can play another mission tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and load the end mission save again, and we are going to fire up Trail of Blood, which is a fun one. I just need a second. Alright, here we go. Saws we them Manamoon's faces, rounds the glow brights in them summer night sky. Sets them to us that winter comes early, summer is gone and the harvest is fled, from a pagan song.
The portal from the graveyard deposited me in a grove of trees, and the wounded pagan I was following is nowhere in sight. He's carrying Mosley's letter, and I'd still like to know where he's heading with it. My plan is to track him and find out what's been going on. The pagan has a head start in what is probably familiar territory to him, but there's some blood on the ground. I'm hoping he's in too much of a hurry to stop and tend to that wound, so he'll leave a trail of blood that I can follow. That's unless he bleeds to death before he gets where he's going. Meanwhile, I have no idea where I am or what I'll be up against, and even if I did, there's no going back for supplies. If I believed in it, now would be a good time for me to wish for luck.
No doubt, Garrett. Alright. Normal. There's some blood on the ground, and it's probably from the wounded pagan who's carrying Mosley's letter. Follow the blood trail to find out where his ultimate destination is. Following a blood trail alone in a dark, unfamiliar place can be difficult, so see if you can find a map or some other information about where you are. And Expert adds, you're a thief, not a murderer. If you catch up with the wounded pagan or come across any other humans, don't kill them. And we're going to get dropped right in. Obviously, no time to stop for supplies. Where? That's the extent of our map. Follow the trail of blood to find the destination of the wounded pagan. Find a map or some information about where you are. Don't kill any humans. Alright. So here's our beginning save for Trail of Blood. And I am going to take a very brief restroom break. You won't be able to see when I get back, but I'll announce it, and I promise it'll be a minute or less. Be right back. No, Sauna. No, you absolutely can't catch up with him. Alright, let's see what we start with, though. We do just have all of... I mean, we have literally everything we brought in from the last mission. That actually makes perfect sense. Okay, let's roll. Now, I actually like this mission quite a lot. It's a good one. Got a dead Mechanist and a dead pagan. And a village map. Reconnaissance map. Becca the Wills. Grove. Pagans live in huts. Barn and silo. Village. The gathering place. Significance of stone formations unknown. Friends. Report any inaccuracies in this map to Friend Ashton, Reconnaissance Company. And of course, we've already completed the objective. Find a map or some information about where you are. Oh my, Rick, Bubba, hello, welcome, welcome. It's good to see you. Rick has the Thief Health Shields as an emoji. He's clearly a big fan of this game. I like seeing that. Bubba, it depends on how you define horror. Thief 2 is pretty light on horror. I would say there are definitely some surreal elements in this mission that one could interpret as kind of scary, but out and out horror like robbing the cradle or Return to the Cathedral, nothing in there. Alright, that guy's got a purse, brings my loot total to 930. Right here amongst the between two Mechanist maces, we can find a scouting orb. There's one part. Oh, hi, Lunky Boy. It's good to see you, too. Suddenly we have some people. Did I get a raid? And it didn't show up on the event monitor? Or is it just kismet that there are so many new folks in here all at the same time? Welcome in, either way. It's lovely to have you all. Yeah, that's true, and, you know, I think they, in many ways, they took the wrong lesson from some of the criticism that Thief 1 got, and, you know, we've had that conversation lots of times. Don't need to go back into it. There are definitely some water arrows to be had. I think they're actually inside that face. You're streaming all the Thief 2 fan missions. Oh, that's awesome. I have I rotate through 3 different game series when I have time to stream. The three that I replay the most. They are Thief and Diablo and the Elder Scrolls. And when I finish the Thief original missions for all 3 games, I am also planning to turn and stream some fan missions, so it's neat that there is an audience for that. I enjoy that immensely. Alright, let's hop over here. First, let's deal with the Mechanist. Ah, Rick, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate that. I'm glad we'll be seeing more of you. But, what was I saying? Oh, yes, Sauna, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, yes, okay, there are, in fact, some horror elements in this mission. At the very end. I just had to take a second and remember what you were talking about. Alright, we got reading material. He am the honeymaker, and drinkers we them meads. He am the jacksberry, and eaters we them leafs. He am the trickster, and the woodsy lord he bees.
Knows it was here. I knows it.
Ghosts.
Looking for this vile heathen? My side gives it here.
Gladly, pagan. Gladly.
Ugh. That said, they really do a great job of making the Mechanists incredibly hate-worthy by the end of this game. Fucking Entmoot. Exactly. I'm actually very glad you know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's just hop the stream over here, get a moss arrow. I'm trying to get back to that bridge. Just kind of make sure I have my bearings. You see the blood trail is here. More ghosts.
What? You? Gets the children to the gathering place. Quickly nows.
Me too, Lunky. Yeah, Thief 1 is definitely my favorite in the trilogy, because as we all should be well aware, they only made 3 games. But I realize that a lot of people favor Thief 2, and I do think that Thief 2 has some better missions. The level design is a bit better, the maps are a bit better. A ruby stone. Nice. Generally speaking. But it gets a little repetitive in the enemy department. I think that it would have benefited from a little bit more variety instead of just humans and robots. Oh boy, I forgot about that guy. We don't talk about Thief 2014. It was an abomination. Best forgotten. Best just forget it even existed. Alright, alright, alright. Sorry about the screw up.
Check thy map. Several have escaped from somewhere near the gathering place. For Karis' sake, is there someone there?
Yes, I have seen it.
It was just the sweet pingings of a boiler.
That allowed them to pass through. But alas, I could not follow.
Alright, we got ghosts.
If we perform their pagan rituals in pursuit of his wishes.
Yes, friend, thou speakest the truth. Let us wait. Did you hear that? There's someone behind those trees.
I mean, we can discuss Thief 2014 if you want to. It actually had some pretty good ideas.
Friend Enoch said...
I think it was the very best, it was at its very best when it just turned you loose to run around in the city. And you could just break into people's apartments and randomly steal loot and do the little side missions. Like, I thought all that stuff was brilliant, but any game that includes a rooftop dog chase while guards are firing explosive arrows at you does not forced chase sequence involving dogs and exploding arrows.
What shadow passed my view?
Just does not understand the ethos of these games.
No noise now, Bill to be blessed.
I agree. The Moira Asylum was pretty good. It was a shameless ripoff of the Cradle from Thief 3. About as shameless as a ripoff can get. But it was pretty good. I'll certainly give it that. Do you ever turn? Like, ever? Because I need to get in there, and I can't remember if you turn. Maybe you don't. Oh, there he goes.
What shadow thou art darkly spawned?
Relax. As long as he's got nothing to pickpocket. Thou art darkly spawned! I suppose I am. Alright. Papyrus. Lit up the lights of the gathering place till all of them glows round the woodsy lord's head, then open them eyes of the Jacksberry giver by bringing the rubies and then placing them there. Jumps in his mouth when glows it all red, for these is the way to them lair of the greens, the maw of them earth seas and court of us dreams. Okay. Well, there we go. Alright. Broadhead arrows. Yahoo. Not very exciting, but that's okay. Let's check upstairs. I believe we're in the barn and silo, as identified on the map. You've played about 800 Thief 2 fan missions, and at least 400 are absolutely amazing. I like that a lot. I played a lot of fan missions back when I was in college. I didn't have a YouTube channel, and I wasn't in any way into content creation then. I just played them. So I'm pretty excited just about the notion that, you know, people are still making them, and there's about a decade and a half worth that I haven't tried yet. But the ones that I have played are T2X, Shadows of the Metal Age, that big campaign, which I definitely liked a lot. And I also played Calendra's Legacy, that 3-mission pack. That's the one I remember. Planters we aft the spring moon is full, and water till it be at wane. Harvests we aft the fall moon shines there, and the wind's crisp air cool us be. I also realize I neglected to read this one. Rounders us gardens plants we them marigolds, keepsies them buggies away from the fruits, sweet hare and volbees kept aways too. Alright. Very, very one with nature. They're making sure we get it. Which is fine. To be clear. Alright. Let's hop over here. There's another ruby stone. We need both. Let's go check out this building. Oh my.
These people didn't have a chance against the Mechanists.
3 more broadheads. Yeah, the pretty good environmental storytelling there with the overturned baby cradle. I guess we know what happened there. Like I said, they really want us to hate the Mechanists, and honestly, it's working. Alright, that guy's got a flare. We got more patrollers up that direction. Let's go over here first. I haven't checked out this house yet. Doesn't seem to be much behind it. More arrows.
Here's the honeymaker.
He hams the jackberry.
Sits we down under his treesy roofs.
Eats me all of his leaves and gifts.
He feeders us.
Alright. Yeah. Bad mechanists. Get the food. There are 3 sets of lucky coins in here in terms of loot. And we got more reading material. Cedar. We'll need another cartload of those frondy plants, and let's have no lazing about the way you normally do. If you're quick, you'll even have a bonus. 7 each instead of the usual 6. Cutting my own throat for it, that's as much as I can squeeze out of these petty lordlings. But because you're my friend and I know you need it. Anyway, get me the plants. Jabril. Alright. So, got a neat big tree house up here. Let's go have a look. I guess this just exists as a way to scout out the village, because there's nothing up there. This guy's got a flare. We can pickpocket. Oh, so very useful.
What noise there? That's
The other one's got a pickpocketable flare too. 2 flash bombs here. Let's get those and try not to inadvertently pick up a mace.
Move.
Alrighty, good. Good. Yet another Mechanist. I knew there was at least one, maybe two more up by the actual gathering place. Which is up this direction. River, relax. There's no one there. You're killing me, banging on the door like that.
Reveal thyself.
I'm talking to the dog. Sorry, folks. Perils of live streaming. Alright, club her down. Yeah, horror adjacent. That's a good way to put it. Alright, so those masked ones cannot be blackjacked. They're basically like the Mechanist's version of the helmet guards in the City Watch. Can't remember if they're immune to gas or not, but it doesn't matter because there's no way we can have a gas arrow at this juncture. I'm also interested... I recall... there's a slow fall potion. Now how did the guy we're chasing get through the portal without the ruby stones? That's what I would like to know. It doesn't matter.
Comes now, Birch. We've lit the lights and opened up the eyes of the woodsy lord. What left is theirs to do.
Shh.
Someone has to stay behind to delay us the Mechanist's threat.
But we needs you with us, Birch.
No, take Minnow and go. Go.
Stay.
Look out!
I have missed something back in the village that I'm going to go try and look for. The little girl's little side quest where we get Dewdrop. I forget exactly where it is, but or how to do it. Now we've seen in there. I think I explored all the houses, I'm pretty sure. It's definitely before we leave the village. Roofs. No. Yes, the doll. And the scene with the little girl. I remember it very strongly, and it hasn't happened. Which says to me I've missed it. Be back here, the very first house. Just a second. It's in the very first house, apparently. Which... okay. So that's over here. I would think on the south side. Judging by the in-game map. Yes, 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 yes. There we go. I never even went in here. That would explain it.
You guys have this. I don't need it anymore.
Come, Lily. Must we go?
His name's Dewdrop, and he doesn't like Mechanists.
Lily.
I have to go now.
Okay, so in the patched version of the game, when Dewdrop works correctly, if we're being attacked by a Mechanist, it self-activates and it's basically just a flash bomb that'll sort of save you, sort of. I never went into the first house. That sure explains it. So anyway, we got Dewdrop, we got the food in here, and we got something to read. Lily must writ this 5 times over for home lesson. Full moon be's called Nene for him woodsy lord's jackal. New moon be's called Enon, them's jackal's dark shadow. Oh yeah, no kidding, Sauna. And it's like you've been seeing ghosts the entire mission, but then that one speaks directly to you. Oh yeah, no, they are really, really ginning you up to despise the Mechanists for the rest of the game, and boy howdy, does it work. I hate those fuckers. Let's be clear. I hate me some Mechanists. Alright. Everything's done, so we can jump into the mouth now. Bloop. Dead Mechanist. Good Mechanist. And look at this! We're back in the Maw of Chaos! What? Yeah, you bet your ass. That's exactly where we are.
I'm still on the right track.
I appreciated that they revisited the mall because it was one of the missions in Thief 1 that was just, you know, totally off the wall, crazy, different than everything else. A lot of cool ideas, lots of cool things they could have played with those themes, but it ended up kind of rushed, being like a really, really short mission with not a lot to explore. I'm glad they kind of rectified that in this one. Alrighty, well, that's unnerving. Get some water arrows from the pools as we go.
Is this the maw? Looks different.
Get more water arrows. Behold more good Mechanists. Get the healing potion from his hand. The Mechanists were on the shit list before this mission. Oh, yeah, but this really, really ramps up the hate. And so these pitcher plants hurt you, as does that water. I want to get that fire arrow, and I'm not super... Unlike, you know, prior playthroughs of this mission, I'm not crazily dedicated to taking no damage in order to get it, but... They do give you... That is, after all, why the designers give you so much healing. I'm pretty sure. Alrighty. Let's start with food. Remember, every single one is a 1 in 3 chance to heal you. I prefer to heal myself by eating apples, thank you very much. Come on now. Come on, meow. You're killing me, Smalls. It's a 1 in 3. There we go. There we go. 2 more. Carrots. Come on. Yes, it absolutely cements the hate. Well, it makes it so much worse, because, like, it's, oh, yeah, no, he blackmailed the sheriff. Oh, he doesn't like the nobles. He's plotting against them. Like, yeah, okay, the guy's up to something, but, you know, he's just handling bad people at that point, and you don't really care. A vine arrow! Yes, this is where we upgrade from rope arrows to vine arrows, and the big, big difference with those, you're no doubt familiar if you've played Thief 2, is that you can shoot vine arrows and they'll attach to metal grates. It creates a few more possible attachment points for what otherwise functions identically as a rope arrow. Just gotta poke around in here and make sure we really look closely at all of the little bone piles as we find them. And oh look, the monkey men are back. And this is what's funny to me about the original trilogy of games. I laugh about it every time. In the first game, it's kind of ambiguous whether they're monkeys or rats. They could definitely be either one. And I personally think they look more like monkeys and act more like monkeys and sound more like monkeys, but you know, you could reasonably conclude that it's either one. You could. Then, alright. Here we have a broadhead arrow and a healing potion. And a silver nugget on the ground. That's probably the hardest bit to actually get. But the, so then, here in Thief 2, when we see them again, it makes it very unambiguous. They are monkeys. Period. Full stop. Absolutely, unmistakably monkeys. Okay, great. They realized it was a little ambiguous in Thief 1. They decided to fix it. That's awesome. Then in Thief 3, which, I remind you, was made by most of the same people, they turn around and they make them unambiguously, absolutely 100% rats. It's like, what? Why? Why didn't you stick with monkeys? You made a decision in Thief 2. Why didn't you stick to it? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But, you know, it's their game. They can do what they want. I just always thought it was I thought it was absolutely wild the way that they did such a big heel turn on what those enemies actually were between those two games. I don't love the poison water segment. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, for all we know, Minel set these traps. Alright. What about over here? 2 lucky coins. Let's quaff another healing potion while we're at it. Sent all the monkeys to space in System Shock 2. No doubt. Oh, there's another fire arrow. Gotta get that. Can't leave things behind. Alright, alright, alright. We're good. Oh, yes, yes. The intended way up. Let's go look at that. Okay. Just making sure my mental map is strong that we've explored everything. Ah, portal. Eye stalks. Cliffs and swamp. Nice. Alright, so yeah, we got the fire arrows, we got the loot over there, we saw that dead end, that's fully explored. We know what that goes down to. Let me cross over there if I want to. The guy actually came this way, which suggests... Right. Okay. I have my bearings now. We're going this way. We fully explored everything else. Oh, hello. See that? That is a monkey. You cannot possibly mistake that for a rat. That is a monkey. And then in Thief 3, they make them as equally unambiguously into rats instead. I don't get it. I don't get it. It makes no sense. Alright, so this one, we can dip down here, get this gas arrow, and, you know, if we were really committed, we could go back. Well, I actually don't know if we can go back through the portal or not, now that I think about it. We could maybe, theoretically, try, go back and see if gas arrows work on those masked mechanists. But I'm not that committed. I'm gonna hold on to it. Okay, so he went up here. Let's go this way instead. Hello, monkey.
Who's in there?
Alright, so just for my own edification, I need to make sure there's nothing else like out here. Yep, that closes off that loop rather neatly and delightfully, which I appreciate. We got more over there. I want to go over here first. Oh, hello. Hello, hello. Have a nap. Alright. There's a crystal, total 1105. Two more crystals on that rock in the corner, total 1155. Here we have more monkeys. I remember this spot. I think
You feel something? What's that?
I think we can actually get in behind them without having to douse anything, which is pretty neat. Alright, they're down. We've seen all that before. Let's just jog past them right quick. There's one more crystal to find out here, and then we can advance in what is obviously the actual forward direction. Yes, here it is. 1180 loot and another noisemaker arrow. River, relax. No one else is here. You're killing me, dog. Settle down. Alright, so I'm pleased with my progress at this point, so I'm going to make a hard save. And we're going to keep going through into here. Oh boy. You can climb that vine out of that pool if you fall into it, but there's nothing down there that would make that worth exploring.
Them Splunsies mines. No! Clumsy taker! Giving them backsies! I eaters them. Plumsy's all gone.
Alright. Here we have a letter. To the person or persons whom I hope will have an interest. How does one begin? I am in a position to be of service to you and your cause, to save lives. But even as I write this, I doubt you will trust me. Why would a high-ranking member of the City Watch help pagans? But I tell you it is true. I have helped you already, though you may not know it. Twice I have spied your agents in the city streets, and twice I looked the other way. Yes, I have helped, and at great risk to myself, too. For what if this letter were to be intercepted? Or if one day I were to look away when I see a pagan, and find myself face to face with my superior, a superior who has given express orders to destroy any pagans I find? Question your agents, and you'll see they will verify the truth of my statements. Then, if you trust me, contact me. This is the only correspondence I will send so brazenly. From now on, we must decide on a system for contacting each other. With complete sincerity, Lieutenant Mosley, City Watch. Alright. So here we are in the Spring Village.
I be trickster.
We got mo monkeys. Mo monkeys, mo problems. They are really big problems. We just haul them back here. Everything should be fine. Alright. So this is one of the healing fruits. They instantly restore 2 hit points, which is pretty neat. This is the Spring Village. Oh yes, Maw, Upper Cliffs, Magic Bridge, Tree Village, Spring. Three gold nuggets. 1, 2, 3 brings my total to 1,480. Excuse me. I think that's everything that's here on the ground level. Let me tear around a little bit just to be absolutely sure. Yeah. Alright, so we need to ascend to the upper level now. I think there is just the one patrol left. Just in time for the Academy Award for Best Dialogue in a Video Game. Now I really need to know which dialogue you're talking about. Have a nap, Mr. Monkey. Alright. Here's a healing fruit. Might as well go ahead and use it. Oh, he was sleeping. I barely even saw him. Anyway, we had a speed potion in there. Very easily missed is the gold ring near the skeleton arm. Total 1,580. Here we have some apples. And another letter. My new friend, I was very pleased to receive your answer so quickly. I will now outline for you my plan for how we will correspond with each other in the future. Firstly, contact will be made only after a signal. Each day, check to see which plant I have in my office window. If it is the peony, then you know I have a message to give you. Then at midnight, I'll drop my message off in the alley we agreed upon earlier. Please make sure an agent picks it up promptly, as I cannot risk anyone else seeing these letters. If you need to contact me, then leave a sage branch outside my door in the morning, and I will pick up your message at noon in the same alley. Do not deviate from this system. I will assume anyone who contacts me in your name outside of these rules is a spy or traitor to our conspiracy, and will have him or her killed. Similarly, any person who claims to be sent by me, or any message you receive from me sent in a different manner, assume to be false and, of course, are secret associations discovered by a third party. I shudder at the thought. Yours sincerely, Lieutenant Mosley. Alright, there we go. Nothing to do now but head into the next village. Oh, Blacktails, I know the one you're talking about. I'm going to end the stream at the end of this mission, but...
Who guards these winters? None guards is it. Oh, what's good gets that bars. None's good. None's good makes it.
It is a satisfying little noise they make, isn't it? Alright, so here we are in the summer village. Club this guy down. We have 3 apples. Enjoy your nap, boyo. 3 more broadhead arrows here. I think this is the one he was talking to. Oh, I'm not skipping anything. But you're right, that's in the next mission, and I'm, rather, you were right when you say that's in the next mission, and... Okay, well, I missed the stairs down, which I need. Here we go. It's just a branch over this way. There's a silver nugget up here. Total is 1630.
See something?
Now you have a nap. Someone is still patrolling. I hear them. There he is. Just hope he doesn't turn around at an inopportune moment. Got him. Alright, so here we are in summer. Alrighty. Two healing fruits here in the middle. There's a gold nugget and a silver nugget. New objectives. Congratulations, you've obtained at least 900 in loot. Not bad, considering you're in hostile territory. Terror run from trees. Alright, I'll save and aggro the trees when we get that far. Just for you. And over here we've got a noisemaker and a vine arrow. Too late. I stole the plumsies. And that's it for summer. And as you may know, this mission is pretty short. We are careening towards the end of it already. Well, that's okay. Not every mission needs to be long. I think this one's pretty effective, even if it is fairly short. Alright, so through here, we arrive in the Fall Village. This is the last one that's guarded. Hello, friendo. I'm gonna pull you back into summer. Drop you right there. Yep, there's fall on the map. Just as one might expect. Okay, so here's where we can descend. Which is not a bad idea. I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
Here's you the noise.
There's a diamond on the ground. That's 1880 total loot. This strikes me as a perfect moment to use the gas arrow we picked up earlier. Should get both of them if I aim it right. Then we can get the fire arrow that was in their fireplace. That mask is actually loot. Both of them are. They bring my total to 1980. There's a silver nugget on the ground here. Total 2030. I believe that's it for ground level in fall. Relax, dog. Alright, and in here we've got apples, another healing fruit, and another letter. My secret correspondent. I have found out something new. All this time I thought Sheriff Truart, possibly out of some misguided sense of duty, was acting alone against your people, but that is sadly untrue. As is his fashion, Truart was hired, yes, and by the Mechanists. He has met with Karis, their leader, several times, and from those meetings came the order to systematically eradicate all pagans. Oh, and they're so clever. You are now officially potential obstacles to the greater good who must be eliminated. You and others too, including a poor soul named Garrett, whom they pursue mercilessly. Why Karis has targeted him I have yet to discover, but as of this letter he remains at large. The others were unfortunately not so lucky as you and this Garrett seem to be. I fear your peril is too great. Truart can be handled, but Karis and his Mechanists, stay away from them. I trust you are taking every possible precaution. My thoughts are with you. I remain Lieutenant M.
So it's been the Mechanist behind my problems this whole time.
Oh, big reveal. Alright, let's proceed into winter. As the conversation suggested, when we make it this far, we don't have to worry.
This guy doesn't run out of blood.
Once we make it this far, we don't have to worry about patrols anymore, at least briefly. So there's winter on the map. Let's check it out. We need to find our way down, of course. There's a diamond on the ground, 2130. There's another diamond, 2230. River, relax. There's one more silver nugget down here, and that should be all the loot. If I can just find it. There it is. Wonderful. 2330. That is, in fact, the maximum available loot for this mission. I believe we've found absolutely everything. Let's make our way back up. Across the bridges. And then, as promised, before I actually end things, I will engineer some panicked tree running. Just for you, Sauna. Here we go. Well, those things sure don't look like regular trees. Sventmoot! I see you. Who was it who said you couldn't hurt them? Because you were wrong. Behold. I just killed 3 of these little shits. How do you like that? And now we just gotta run away from the others until we find the dude's body. Run! Hit me! Hit me! There he is. We made it. We made it! Objective complete. Follow the trail of blood to find the destination of the wounded pagan. I didn't spend any money on fire arrows, Blacktails. I spent no money. That was only resources you can get inside the mission. Let's be clear. Don't you accuse me of spending money I didn't spend. Cutscene time. I'll shut up. Well, you don't have to. I used them because I promised Sauna that I would fight the trees. obviously the smart thing to do is just sneak past them. But somebody said you could not destroy them, and I felt the need to prove them wrong. With the fire arrows you can find in the mission.
Garrett.
Victoria.
Garrett. Who is it you wish to fight? Me? Or my Thistlades? Or the Sycamore?
Just you.
I am not
Hi,
the
Shodan.
enemy, Garrett.
I mean
nor
Victoria.
anyone here.
I mean
Here
Terry
is your
Brocious.
enemy. Mechanists. It's no secret that they wish to destroy you, too. Hero that you are. Regardless, you will join us in our struggle against them.
Join you? Not really my first choice.
Choice?
My choice is to avenge the death of a friend. You understand nothing of suffering and duty. Pathetic man fool. In one moment I could...
It was a nice cut to his
The
mechanical
past is
eye.
the past. Now we have an enemy in common.
To remind us who took
Even
his
you
eye in the
must
first
see that
place.
this is so.
I seem to have a lot of enemies lately. Anyway, you have matters well in hand.
It is true that I am powerful, but I draw my strength from this place. Where the Mechanists are, I am not so assured of victory.
Pity.
I have no time for your vengeful thoughts and biting words. But be assured, Garrett, you are stronger with us than without us. We have been watching the Mechanists for 3 moons. Pagan agents are posted in every sector of the city. Your report, Larkspur.
1 loss in the Old City, and 2 more in Dayport.
Sometimes enemies must join forces to overcome a more terrible foe. So tell me, Garrett, yes or no? Are we agreed to work together, sharing knowledge and skills against the Mechanists? I put vengeance aside. The Earth keeps my promise for me. Now you have my oath on it. I'm cursed if I break the covenant. Now your answer.
I agree that...
Good. The Earth keeps your promise for you.
All right. And there we have the end of Trail of Blood. Let me make sure I got everything. 3 out of 3 pickpockets, 0 out of 0 secrets, and 2330 loot out of 2330. Those numbers all look good, and on that note, I am going to go ahead and end today's stream. I think a lot of people are on right now. We're going to go raid to my friend Fabled Vixen. She's raided me a few times. I have yet to raid her back because I'm usually not on late enough for us to do that, but we can do that tonight. So Vix is really friendly. She's funny. She makes raunchy jokes her entire stream. She plays a lot of video games. Looks like she's open right now, hasn't picked a game for tonight, but she's a big supporter. She's raided me several times, so please join me in raiding over there and giving Vix a follow. And if you haven't followed this channel yet, my stream schedule is infrequent and irregular. I promise nothing, but if you want to see the next time I go live, the best way to do it is to follow me here on Twitch. So let's raid over there, and I will see you all next time on Twitch, and of course, remember to follow me on YouTube. That's where I'm most active, and the upload schedule is regular. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.